Hi guys, welcome to another episode from Bar Security Locksmiths UK Limited. Today I'm going to be making up a couple of modular cylinders for a client to go and fit on a job, and also we're going to make up an Ingersoll cylinder, but I've got to wait for the Ingersoll cylinder to come in. It's all on order, so let's get started. I've cut our keys, as you can see, all nicely cut. Next thing we need to do is make up our cylinders. So, these are going to be key and turn modular cylinders in polished brass. It's also available in polished chrome, satin chrome, black as a colour, bronze, antique bronze and satin brass. Right, so I've got my breakdown key, which we're going to use to open these locks up. These are only got one slider in at the moment. That's how they come from the factory. Everything else is what we do. Take out the sidebars. Can be a little tricky getting these sidebars out, but you get used to it. It goes. They don't actually come with a sidebar. That's something that we put in afterwards. That's just to stop the cylinder from jamming. Right, so next thing I need to do is I need to put our cylinder springs in. This is a new pack I've got. We do go through quite a few of these springs. Just pop them in. We're a family business, family run. This is me and my father. Right, so now that we've got our springs in, I'm just going to take out the number one slider, because there's no number one slider in this combination. So we've got a combination of 2, 3, 5, 6, 4. That's our number 2. I'm going to make these barrels all on the same key for the client's convenience. We don't charge any extra for passing up the EVVA modular cylinders, since we've got to build them anyway. If you're wondering how the keys actually run, you see I don't know if you can see on now, I'll try, but you've got the thick piece here on the end. That's the bit the key actually rides up against. They really are good quality, high quality cylinders. So easy to work on. Okay, so I'll try and get that to home in, so you can see it's all level. So we pop our locking sidebar in. Our locking sidebar sits nice and level. And we have our unique sidebar. That's unique to Bars Security. This is what provides the key security and the patent. It pops on the other side. Let's pop that together. And you see, key turns nice and free. Now I use a key horse for holding it in place. This one is going to be 3131, so it's a small bar. So there's no need to put any spacers in. Now we use a security type hexagonal bolt for holding these in place. That pops in like so. If you hear any noise in the background, this is a working shop, providing a full bench locksmith service. Right, so now we've got our hardened bar in place. So what we need now is we've got our coupling, so this is what makes it work. We need to pop our clip on so it doesn't fall apart, otherwise the key will come straight out, which is quite embarrassing. Just slips on the top. That one doesn't look right. Should have. Okay. We use this special tool for sliding these clips on. Next thing I need is our couplings. Oh. And our cam. So this is our cam. On one side you have a double ridge, on the other side it's all clear. Let's pop that on there like so. We pop our little coupling in like so. We need a little spring to go on the other side. Just pop this spring on. Sits on the other side. Now because this is a 3131, I don't need to use any spacers or anything on this, so I can just pop it straight on. Just slides on like so. Coupling the right way. There. So that's all sat in place. Just pop that in there like so in our holder. Pop our security screw in on that side. Tighten up. Okay, so that's our first cylinder done on a Euro key and turn. Quite right. We'll see what that is in a minute. I know what I've done. I've just put the clip in the wrong way round. Just open it up. Lift that off. These clips have a tendency to break when you take them off, so we'll just use a fresh clip. that way round. There we go, that's perfect. Right, so you see which way around the clip needs to sit. Even professionals make mistakes. Pop this off. Slide this on. Sure, our coupling's in place. Perfect. Okay, you can see how easy these cylinders are to work on. It's one of the things I really like about them. That's now in, it's all nice and solid. Check it the way round. It's all nice and solid. So you'll notice that there's a hardened bar. And most of the cheaper cylinders, they just have a little bit of brass sitting there, and then they drilled a hole for it, so it's easier to snap. This cylinder, because it's a hardened bar being held in place, is much more difficult to snap and more resistant to it. That's another positive of the EVVA EPS modular. Now the next one we're going to build is going to be a 36-36, and this one I will need to use spacers to build up and pack out the cylinder. That's okay, that's what the modular is designed for. Same thing again, breakdown key. See how easy these are to work on, guys. Okay, I won't bore you with the pinning part. Okay, the cylinder is now pinned up and it's all ready to be put together. So what we've got to do, we've got to use some spacers because our 36-36 is slightly bigger. So same again, we've got to put our bolts in. My big fingers. Okay, so in they go. We'll just lock it down. Screwdriver. I use this for putting them together because it's much easier and it holds everything in place for you. Makes life a lot easier for doing this. Nice thing about the longer ones is they actually have a little groove in there. That sits over the clip that holds everything in place, which is then screwed into place. It ensures that that clip isn't going to come out. So even if someone is trying to use a cylinder puller for pulling the plug out, that gives it added strength. So that's another really good thing about these cylinders. And we've got to pop a spacer on. One of these. Goes in that way round. So it faces that way. We put one of these so the key can engage. Because it's slightly longer, the key wouldn't engage otherwise. We pop out a little cam in place. We've got our coupling. Goes in place like so. Just need one of these. And then we do the same again on the thumb turn side. Again, it all adds a nice little bit of extra strength on there. I've done this. Well, I don't think I've seen that before. Looks like we've got two clips on this. Only needs one. Why I've done that, I don't know. There you go. That's come from the factory that way. Put that on there, that's good. Now, the difference now is that the other one we put in that way round. The reason we put it in that way round is so that it engages with our cam there properly in the right position. We'll just screw this down. I also use a rubber mat as well, which protects the finish. Now you're probably thinking that because we're putting a spring in here that we don't need to put a spacer in, but you'd be wrong. So I'm going to put another little spacer in on this side, and that's to lift the spring up slightly so that it engages nicely. Final bit. Let's pop out retaining screw in. Now we got it in, we can use the block. Okay, that cylinder is done. The reason we are using the key and turn cylinders on this job is because this is for a rented flat. So not only do you have the benefit of the key control of the keys, so that you know that your tenants aren't going to get the keys cut without your permission, it also is fire rated as well, and that is done. Very pleasing. All ready for when the lock cases come in on Monday to go out for fitting, and the Ingersoll cylinder, which I'm going to have to make up to these keys as well. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.